Andrew Hogue here on Soundwave Radio 2014 here in Sydney with, of course, the mighty Skindred. We have Benji and Dan. Benji's certainly no stranger to the Australian landscape, being here many, many years with a great band that we do miss, but I do play still heavily on the Andrew Hogue radio station. Yeah, of course, we play lots of dub war. That's the band we're referring to.
That's right.
Again, the station's all about celebrating 40 plus years of all types of heavy music, and to me, dub war left their mark, releasing some great music. So yeah, the band still gets played, but let's talk about Skindred.
Amen.
The band's exactly, hallelujah, boom. Now, of course, Skindred's back with a brand new record, and being on Soundwave first time.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well, kind of. Yeah, we were meant to play the year Van Halen were playing, and we came over and did some sidewave stuff during the festival because it was condensed, the festival, you know.
Correct.
So we played some side shows with Hollywood Undead.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the first time we're doing the festival in its true form.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what is great about Soundwave, and I think what separates it from most festivals in Europe, of course, you have your dedicated metal festivals, and then you have your alternative ones that sort of might have a couple of metal bands or whatever. Where this is a combination of punk rock and heavy metal coming together, and there's so much to see on one day. I mean, you really can't see it all. Being on the bill, have you had a chance to even see any bands? Or are you going to try to at least see one or two of your favourite bands before the festival wraps up?
Well, to be honest, pretty jet lagged initially. So yesterday I only saw the bands that were on around our stage. So I saw some Clutch, and I saw some Crosses.
You look like Neil Fallon.
It's the beard.
It is the beard. A lot of beards on this festival.
Oh, mate,
a lot of
tattoos and beards on this festival.
A lot of beards. But yeah, and some Crosses as well.
Yeah, Chino's thing, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
And
really cool.
but honestly, that's about it for now. I mean, today hopefully I'm going to get to see some other stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to
and then I'm sort of pacing it really,
Jet lag's a killer,
Yeah.
telling you.
But let's talk about, of course, the sound of Skindred. I mean, again, there's a billion more bands out there now than ever before, but the band's always stood out, and especially it's most notably to Benji's, of course, not just frontman persona, but vocally as well. And then now everyone gets thrown into different categories. You've been called Rasta metal and raga metal and all this sort of stuff. But
we're just a rock and roll band, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to be anything else more than a rock band, making music, drawing on the influences that I grew up listening to, and it's the same for Dan. And that's it, really. Skindred is what we are.
And how do you find people sort of adapting to the band's sound and culture? Because it's so obvious in the sense, but again, it's so different to what's sort of out there.
In this day and age, I mean, every band you see, majority of the bands are drawing on different kinds of energy, drawing on different bands, and it's like you see that music ain't like where you got to go hunting it before. It's all at the end of your finger. You just got to press Spotify or whatever to get all this different music. So people are getting less and less into the one genres. You got the hardcore still, and you'll always have them. But the amount of people who come to see us in the UK who've never been to a rock concert or know anything about it's amazing, and that works both ways with people who never listen to metal or never listen to reggae, but it just works, it just works real well.
The sound, for a better word, is sort of a hybrid of influences, but to me, when you hear it, it's Skindred, because there really aren't many bands who have melded this sort of sound, and you've been doing it for a hell of a long time through the years of dub war. That's why it's still stable. It's still stayed on, and of course grown since dub war to now Skindred. Are there any other sort of territories you're looking at taking the band's sort of music in, or just whatever comes out?
Whatever comes in it, really.
Yeah, I think the kind of idea at the beginning was, we can sort of draw from, it's kind of like the rock and reggae thing, but to us, like we say, the reggae thing is kind of the more dancehall vibe, the dub thing, the drum and bass thing. That's all kind of one thing. You see it as kind of one area, and then the rock side of it could be like hardcore punk, or it could be metal, or it could be like classic rock even, and we've kind of got that as a palette to draw from. So
and obviously with the world of the internet now, it's made the world a smaller place.
That's right.
And you virtually can search for any band in the world, and there's so many different bands really using a lot of their worldly influences into their sort of sound as well. I mean, you think it's a good, healthy thing for a lot of bands in their own native countries to use their own culture as well?
I think you just got to do what what you tap into. I don't think you can be false and do what you do. I mean, I think, like you mentioned, like my other band, Dub War, I wasn't trying to be different. I was just doing what came naturally to where I was from. Like, I'm just a product of my environment. That's all. Vocally, that's what I am anyway. Like.
And of course, you've still got Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth to come for Soundwave. Are you going to try and at least catch a couple of your favourite acts before you head on
I'm
back
definitely going to do that.
There's so many bands on this thing. It's like being in the lobby or being in catering or something. You see someone, you're like, oh my god, I didn't know they were here. That's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't get the memo? No.
I didn't get the memo. No.
Well, we can get you guys to say a couple last words to Australian fans. Oh, there they go, Alice in Chains walking past.
Walking past, there you go.
Yeah, more rock royalty.
That's right.
We can get you guys to say a couple last words to Australian fans and choose a song from the latest record.
Okay, I'm going to choose World's on Fire. It's off our new album, Kill the Power.
Very good. Let's check it out now here on Soundwave Radio on andrewhogue.com.